Hello there everyone, and welcome back. It is time to try once again with the Slag-Rats, although this time I have came prepared. They are all kitted out, they are all up to level 5 basically, and I am hopeful, very hopeful, despite my ambitious attempts so far, trying to build a multiplayer gang strictly on multiplayer and progressing them through that. I had taken some time to do some operations, two operations really, with a reserve gang to kind of get some extra resources and gear in preparation for this. We are at least as prepared as we're going to be, although how much do you want to bet we're still going to face off against a completely higher level team, or even worse case, what I dread even more, is face off against a level 0 or level 1 type of team. Because I would like to try and have even matches if possible. Either way, I tried multiple times to talk over the list of all these skills because there's a lot to take in, but I think what I'm going to do is condense it down to just what the role and purposes are, since I tried to just talk about the basic abilities, the passive traits rather, and there's a lot to take in. But simply put, Tissoni is going to be my main melee damage dealer. She has a chainsaw or buzzsaw at the moment, a melee weapon that kind of does a lot of bleed damage. And of course being a support character with all these building kind of like, constructible debris? They call it destructible devices anyway, but she's able to put stuff on the ground to help me out and fortify my position. And her main melee attack is of course just her main bleed ability, and the hydraulic slam, which I did level up. Doing extra damage and better penetration more likely succeed. And Titania and Marco are my main damage dealers ideally, since they're both my Deadeyes. The main thing with Marco is of course he's my gang leader, but because he's also the gang leader, I gave him a really powerful ability and leveled it up in Heroic Barrage. He basically can do triple shots, and this synergizes incredibly well with the plasma gun, since the more it overheats, the more damage it does. Simply put, it works out amazingly well, and with lead by example, if you can do an order skill or even a carry ability, with combination of the House Orloc's passive trait of just shooting and then overwatching, I basically get an overwatch for free. It is really nice convenience, and I buffed up or enhanced all my end of battle, battle long type of buffs, so that way, at least in the first turn, I will have this for the entire duration ideally, and it's cheap enough that even if I do get an opportunistic shot, I can still benefit from these cheaper discounts on the buffs. But I won't talk too much about everything, although there is a lot of buffs to keep track of, but a lot of them is Iron Sprint, or Iron Spirit, and Iron Grit there, which helps with their durability, and these are House Orlock specific. So every time I overwatch, I get a bunch of buffs to make them a little bit harder. And then otherwise, Titania, I'm trying to figure out if I could build her towards being critical hit centric to do more damage there, especially with the ability of height advantage. But that's going to definitely be some trial and error and understanding, without a doubt. And then Jericho, he's my main guy. I want to try and grab the objectives, especially if they're in a very precarious position. So I gave him a bunch of traits to help with that, especially with the plan adaptation, which ideally is going to greatly increase the action points required to use his defensive abilities when he grabs the objective. So he can lay down a bunch of traps as he goes for incredibly cheap, especially with the rank up as well. And then he also has, Chem Sense, which also increases his movement ability. Ideally, I want him to go last on a certain round before I do a big power play for the objective, buff himself up or prepare himself with delay and of course this explosive here, and then just sprint for it with high initiative to just get in position and ideally be well protected. Or if that's not optimal, what I'm probably going to do is have him go last to grab the objective, and with all the bonuses he's going to ideally get with his traits and initiative, hopefully be able to get out really quickly with very minor damage. That's the idea. And Dak, yes, he's kind of my frontliner, the kind of main damage dealer. I don't know how much I like a heavy, since I don't think I have him tuned up or optimized the way I want just yet, but if I can find a fortified position or a garrison is going to be great, since it gives all nearby allies additional action points, and the entrench ability is just that much more cheaper too. And of course, tune-up is also discounted quite heavily with the level ups, and I can give that to everyone else as a bonus. So it works out nicely, and all my guys are pretty well geared up too. I am sadly missing out on high tier chest piece armor. That's the only thing I'm really lacking, but everyone essentially has tier 4, tier 5 kind of gear. Pretty close anyway. I just haven't gotten much better of a lay mechanic weapon for Tisoni. But everyone else is kitted out, as you can see here, at least as well kitted out as can be. And I don't think I don't have a tier 4 piece. And you can see what the difference is like here. Tier 5 is max tier. Just have a look at these resistances. And I got these pretty quickly, mainly because of the operation bonuses. I have enough infamy that I can essentially get 10 free tier 5 armor pieces right away. And it kind of shows a little bit too if I can find them here. I have so much tier 5 pieces, primarily on the legs, I don't know what to do with. Unfortunately, no, not so much good luck with the chest pieces, so I'm going to have to work on that some still. Either way, let's hopefully try my luck with multiplayer and see if we can have a good time. At least better luck. Okay, so thankfully, we didn't have much of a wait. Although we already had an opponent in the queue, to be honest, so that might have had a lot to do with it. Although, I do dread to find out what kind of opponent we have still. Ooh, and there's Archaeotech here. I wonder how useful that is for the purposes of multiplayer. Because really what it means is it's a random amount of victory points I think it gives us. Okay, so we may actually have a bit of, well, I say that, and there's a handful of level 2s and a level 3. Now I'm trying to remember, how do I type? So, for once I have the advantage, I just don't know how drastic an advantage it is though. And I have easy means to repair these zip lines. Well, in all honesty, both these pathways can take us here really quickly, so I think what I want to do is just go here. At least to fortify this position as quickly as possible, and if I can, destroy this bridge. If I can. So I want one of my heavies in position, because otherwise if I were to deploy anywhere else, I think that would mean I'm forced to start with the lay mechanic just so I can repair that zip line. So thankfully having the initiative advantage is helpful here. Unless I'm somehow able to destroy that, can I get... That's what I'm curious about. Can I... Well, I do have the elevator here. That is really precarious, because I don't think that really helps. I do wonder if I can have a saboteur go here to just go up and sabotage that. That might be something for a later plan though, but I like the potential of it. I'm going to hold on to that idea and save the saboteur there for last. And also, yeah, my saboteur also has the highest initiative, so that might be a bit of a gambit unless I feel like I can get away with my heavy to destroy this bridge. That would be the exception there. But I think this is a good strategy. I like to think anyway. He's just not going to be able to buff the best, and it puts him in a very precarious position if I plan out my movement wrong. That's where I'm going to have the hardest time wrapping my head around this type of game. Is exactly what kind of movement I can get away with. Because this doesn't take a lot of action points. I go up there, I zip line up. And you potentially can be protected. There's a lot of uncertainties there. I feel like destroying the bridge might... Well, even then, disabling the zipline helps a ton. It is a gamble, I'm not going to lie, just because I'm uncertain on how the movement lines up. Because I want to believe it's 10 movement points up here, then another 5-ish movements up here, and then, of course, action points to move up. And I have the initiative to kind of destroy the zipline quickly. We'll see. It's a bold gambit. and they're the Angels of Death. We are dealing with what almost sounds like the Space Marines themselves. This forces what well, that's not entirely true. It doesn't really force my hand. Because he's immune to damage at the moment. And I do get to go first, no matter what, because of the initiative advantage. And I thought I gave you higher gear. Was that... I'm very certain you have higher gear. I'm pretty certain that's a tier 4 sword, so why is that downgraded? Is that for the purposes of multiplayer that I'm oblivious to? That is something I was not prepared for, and it did 23 points of movement, so that's gonna suck. Let's see, use the zip line, then sabotage it. And maybe you'll be okay, regardless. Deadeye are gonna do a bit of damage, though. I kinda wanna hunker you down. You're gonna be in a lot of trouble regardless. Actually, just for safety's sake. Oh, I can't even put the mine here. Or at least it's not doing a good job for me. Okay, I do have 15 action points for an Overwatch, so I might do that instead. I underestimated a little bit the amount of movement it would take to go to the elevator, but I like the principle of it. Oh yeah, because you're on the bridge, you're gonna get moved a bit, aren't you? Oh god, that was even worse. Because that put you in a very awful spot. I was expecting it to push you forward, if I were serious. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me too much there. It kind of separates the squad a bit, but if you can survive, that'd be great. Let's see, that's the Archaeotech there. That single-handedly might allow them to win the match there, with the amount of victory points it might give them. But if you burn all your movement, and depending on where you place them, I could probably still kill her. Because I have 2 Deadeyes as well to do the same kind of movement. So I think the idea is to force them to try and protect her. Because, yeah, you can't quite evacuate just yet. Let's see. You are close to the evac point, but not quite enough. So I think I can deal with you pretty well. Especially with me being able to act first on almost everyone. So let's see. Now I think what I want to do is just prepare movement for everyone else and then do the shots as a handful of the others get to go. Because I can deal with you, it's just a question of how likely I'll have to put myself in a bad spot, though. Because Because I can repair the zip line. Does that help me at all? Oh, and there's also a zip line over here, which I can use to just get to that point. How to be most efficient with my movement is really what it comes down to. Because this seems ideal to just jump on the Archaeotech right away, but this is one of the minor... Oh god, it burns all my movement. So I'm gonna have to be very careful on that. But you might be useful for just a barrage to kind of force them in place. Yeah, all my weapons tier 1, interestingly. So it tells me. And apparently I can't actually aim down there with my ability. So that I was not really prepared for, but where can I protect myself? Well, I'm all good here otherwise. And I just won't have enough for any abilities, sadly, if I were to Overwatch. Because my opponent's playing very aggressive. At least I can protect the salvage casket. Oh yeah, those are the only two objectives for this mission too, interestingly enough. The big question though, can I do enough damage? Because I think what might be happening is a leapfrog maneuver. Oh, you're just going to try and shoot my guy. If only I had positioned you a little bit better, you're probably just going to die a miserable death, aren't you? Again, I planned out the movement poorly. And trying to help you is not going to do me much good. Now I'm wondering if I... Actually, I'm curious. What is the initiative on our one down here? I'm trying to figure out. You're not the captain, so... 98 initiative. I would like to Sony go first. I just don't know if it... I don't think it works out the way I'm thinking. Because you can't buff your initiative in any way, can you? No, you can't. I was... What? Because I have the exact same initiative as the one with the Archaeotech. And the reason I'm a little reluctant of that is I would like to jump on top and pin her in, essentially. Because I don't think you can actually run away in an angle. Because that is a bit of a gamble. Is it even possible to get in there, though? Sadly, I was looking at the map, so I don't even think I can jump over there, can I? It's probably not going to be nowhere near as efficient as I'm thinking it will be. This gamble is probably not going to pay off the way I want it to, if I'm honest. Because chances are they get to go first, knowing my luck. And I also... Because I want to be able to jump and pin them in their place. There's also a zip line literally right there, I didn't realize. Oh well, that was the zip line I was trying for, to be fair. Which I just barely didn't have the movement for. And all I can really do is just crouch, Overwatch for good measure, and see if we can grab this. Again, I am just barely missing out on the movement I need. And yeah, you're just dead, no questions asked. I thought I was being smart there, just sabotaging that, but it had to push you just in a bad spot because of the how it auto-placed you. Since I think with him crouched, I think it would be almost impossible to knock down, or at least hit, just because of the extra bit of cover he would get. But no, the game decided to be a dick. I should have just repositioned him and tried crouching again, is realistically what I should have done. Alright. So you probably are not able to Overwatch yet, from what I have to guess. And from what I've seen, I am just a couple of movement points away. Even if I get to the zipline, I might be too close to even do damage to. The one with the archaeotech. That's the only problem there. Because how much movement do I burn going here? Basically all of it. Let's see. Is there a way I can only... Nope, that's just jump. So, what's probably going to happen here, even though I get close, I'm going to be stuck within minimum range and not be able to shoot them. That is what I suspect might happen here. Well, I'm lucky there in that regard. Yeah, I have just enough movement to actually shoot, but I'm left in a very awkward spot. Yeah, and I think yeah, let's chance the higher critical hit chance to start crippling you. If I was fortunate enough to get that critical hit, and sadly, not able to get an Overwatch ready. Oh, it's just going to move me as well, so I'm probably going to get stuck in a bad position again, aren't I? And that meleeer, that brawler, is definitely going to be a little bit of a scare. Being level 7 and all that. She has the potential to murder my guys immediately. But I am curious about the gear, honestly. On why that seemed like it got downgraded, because it didn't seem like it mattered a whole lot when I was dealing with a level 10 gang before in my one match. And even then, it's more the skills being leveled up that are probably more problematic than the gear, if I'm honest. Yeah, you're just probably going to die horribly. It's what... Thankfully, the brawler might not be able to reach you, from what I'm seeing through that movement. But I can't commit everyone down there. I need to have Overwatch handy. Because I believe what can happen is they could just jump over that ledge, can't they? So, and I don't quite have the range to actually do Overwatch up there. And just having everyone down there is looking like it's going to be a bad mistake, dang it. I want to believe you cannot reach her because of what we just seen, but I don't want to rush 2 people down there and leave them vulnerable to just dying horribly, because that's a recipe for disaster. And I don't quite have... Yeah, that burns all my movement again. So let's just try and get a better vantage point up here, maybe. And I'll have you grab the crate in a moment. I can Overwatch. I don't think it really helps all that much, sadly. But can... Who can I can't really reach down there. It's what it's looking like. And a stun doesn't really help, if I'm honest, because it just forces them to burn... They only regenerate 20 action points, which I don't think helps a lot. Because it's the movement points I'm more concerned about. Well, actually, that might not be terrible. If it stuns them. Oh, I stunned my own character, too. I didn't see the highlight. Either way, I probably deserve to lose as badly as it seems like I'm losing right now. Since I'm getting all my characters killed off really easily. Leaving them to die Because sadly, with this type of game mode, with the Archaeotech, they probably just automatically win as soon as they grab that or evacuate with it. Whereas all the other missions, all the other games so far, there was at least like 10 different items to pick up. And that definitely makes a big difference. As opposed to just one item just winning you the game right away. Since I think the salvage cast only gives me, what, 20 victory points? Versus a possible 80, or maybe even 100 that the Archaeotech may give me. It is random though, so it's possible maybe it's just a dud. I don't even know if that's possible if I'm serious. So you do preparation, you're just buffing yourself up. Good thing you didn't have delay and all that. Now, this is a bit of my conundrum. I don't honestly think there's a way I can stop you. And I have to suspect who you're going to act with first. The most important thing would be the Archaeotech, to be fair. And I can get in a good position to do a lot of damage afterwards. So... okay, so the gamble sort of paid off. Can we get down there, though, is the catch, because you don't have Overwatch. It's the one down there I'm worried about, but... now I gotta figure out how the hell to get down there. I thought this was a good advantageous point. And this is another problem. I really need to understand the layout. Because what I probably should do is jump down there and then jump again. Jump down on the pipes or the bridge is what I'm saying. I'm hoping this works to my liking. Because I'm burning a lot of action points, but if I get melee with the stun, they only regenerate 20 action points, I believe. So, this could work incredibly well. Sony without a doubt is going to be in a lot of trouble. Unless there's a way I can make a barricade to block that path. That would have been amazing. Not going to happen, though. And that's a bunch of damage there. I'm just wondering what would benefit me more. Because probably the smash, I think. Especially with that critical hit at that. Although if I had set to bleed, maybe you would die right now. And that's not even the best positioned, isn't it? But what I'm gambling on a little bit is, because you're stunned, you hopefully won't have the action points to evacuate out now. That's what I'm trying to gamble on a bit, because you are stunned after all. You do have the movement, I fear, even if you burned a tiny bit of it. The brawler, I'm almost willing to bet it's just going to murder someone immediately. Yeah, come on, I want to trust that gamble. I could be wrong, because it takes 10 action points to evacuate, doesn't it? Damn it, I guess not. So that gamble with the stun did not pay off, and I just lose no matter what here, I think. The unfortunate truth of it. And let's see. I'm just going to take this shot. Actually, I have entrenched, but I want to evacuate immediately. Where can I jump to? Because Sony is in a bit of a pickle. Without a doubt. And I also have heals, so I might as well use them. And they all look like they're all tier 1 as well. Yeah, heals 15 health. I think that's still on par with what I originally had, a tier 3 stinger. But now I can't take my shot. Well, I can entrench. Who am I kidding? And how much does it take to... Sadly, I won't be able to take my shot. Can I even overwatch? I can overwatch, though. Which I might not be able to get value of, but... I evade the bruiser. And then try and use the bridge for a little bit of cover. Up the bridge I can't. That's kind of what screwed me over before, honestly. I learned my lesson, dang it. So I hopefully should get an Overwatch shot, but without a doubt this brawler should just be able to murder her. Nope, the charge did negate that. Yeah, you're just gonna murder her immediately. As you saw, all those were critical hits even. So that's unfortunate. They're gambling a lot of their levels and all that on a level 7 brawler after all too, to be fair. I don't know if that's like some kind of weird balancing decision that they made to kind of lower their gang rating, as weird as that may sound considering the poor experience I've been having, but I am interested in the thought process there. I guess in retrospect, since all it essentially was just a random die for the objective, probably what I should have done is just had my saboteur grab the objective and just run back. It seems like that would have made the most sense given how this is playing out. I was just used to the idea of having like 6 or 7 different objectives to have to fight over. So letting 1 or 2 get... I'll have them evacuate with that would not have been a big deal otherwise. Yeah, and I kind of want you to try and grab that. I'm just getting murdered, sadly. And I was gambling on being able to negate them, being able to escape with that stun and everything, but apparently it was not enough. And I can overwatch. I can grab the salvage crate up there easily enough. Where do I best position myself, though? Because there is a health canister there for Titania afterwards. You cannot buff anyone else, I don't think. So where do I put you for Overwatch? Because you can block off that path really well. There are some over on the side to shoot at too. I need to get in Overwatch range for it to even matter. Although what probably will happen if I go too far forward, they're just gonna rush me and do a flank shot, let's be honest. But if I don't have an Overwatch, they're just gonna back up and then regroup with everyone. So I already did readiness, didn't I? Yeah, I have readiness already. Let's see how the rest of this plays out. I suspect that they might just rush me down here, but at least Titania can come up and support. And hopefully I actually have cover to survive this onslaught that's about to happen. I want to believe, maybe. Now, where are you gonna go? Because sadly I can't get the shot on you. You're just gonna go for a supply crate, are you? And do the same thing as kind of before? I do have Overwatch, keep that in mind. So I should be able to get that shot off regardless. I'm hoping. What kind of damage is it though? Well, half their health and damage almost. And I am somewhat in cover. Not much of cover though. But since now I'm crouched, that should make it harder to hit than it was before. So you're going to burn all your movement and all that to try and burst me down, essentially. Alright, so I took a good chunk of damage there. You don't have a lot of mobility left. And I want to believe I can rush you decently. At least do damage to her. It's just a question if she can get support or not. Since I did sabotage their weapon. Yeah, you're crouched. I can negate that some. I don't think I can even get on that. Well, I can get on the pipe. I am forfeiting. Well, I want to believe I'm not really forfeiting getting the crate, but let's see what the chance to hit is here. Because I don't think they have a lay mechanic to repair. Okay, I can't even see her all. Well, that's because of the cover here. Alright, I figured that would be a better shot, but it seems like the shot here is still better. 70% chance. And I can entrench for more if I feel like I can get the kill. It's a tough call. I have enough movement to at least entrench and get back in the cover, but no Overwatch. And your initiative's 91, so I would need someone else to act if I want to try and kill you. And I'm so short to gain Overwatch 2. So maybe what I should do is go for the most vulnerable part. Yeah, you have armor. So clearly the tier 1 weapons are tier 1 weapons only. And 100% chance to hit. We can't say no to that. There. Now you get back to the position. And we'll see about that loot later, maybe. Because clearly you have armor, but we can't actually loot the armor, to be fair. It's just the weaponry and consumables they might have. There. Your movement's burnt. I'm now crouched, so you can't get an ideal shot on me. I want to argue. Oh, you might be going after Titania, aren't you? I did not consider you might be in range of her. And Marco is still somewhat protected. And you don't have a lot of movement, interestingly enough. That's about as far as you could traverse, if you could see it through the juking camera. I'm afraid you're just gonna nuke down Titania, though. I somehow dodged so many of those shots. And I was overwatched as well, which would have really been bad maybe for her. Because that kind of puts you in a really bad spot to get rushed down. I don't know if I got lucky there, but I think the gun also jammed. Keep in mind that Heavy also did a Gatling Fury last turn. So basically, they couldn't get their full salvo off. But Titania might be dead too, I fear, just because of the bad position I had for her, and accidentally stunning her. Because I saw the highlight on them, but I don't recall seeing a highlight for Titania. And you're just gonna try and flank behind, are you? Or even try to take a shot there. You might chance a shot since sadly I didn't have the convenience of crouching. What do you do? Because you can zip line up, but I think they'll put you too far away to actually engage her. And that's a good fire angle, but with a pistol you actually have less range, but it's still probably enough range to get a shot on me. And that's what I'm almost certain they're trying to do, maybe. Trying to get a shot on Titania. Okay, there's the buff for increasing mobility and all that. And burnt a bunch of your action points too, I think. Since being level 2, you should not have gotten that even leveled up at all. So that's an expensive 30 action points, I think, to do. So you can only take a single shot. Which is still an aim shot with that said. Now, I kind of need to move with Titania first, because I could conveniently heal with her. I have enough action points to move and all that. I don't know where the bruiser is going to go, though. Only thing I'm uncertain about. But I can zip line up easily enough. I was wounded, so that does also put a penalty on my abilities. Because I'm wondering if I can get away with just staying here in Overwatch is what I'm realistically wondering. But I think they might try the same thing as what I did to jump down. This is about as far as I can go, and I need that extra movement to kind of position myself anyway. Oh. Oh, I see what's going on. This zip line is going to cause all sorts of problems, isn't it? So if I can Overwatch, that'll be nice to slow down their brawler. It'll be nice too. I don't have enough. I don't have what I need to deny that, though. So just use the zip line and get to cover then. Since we kind of have this area sort of on lockdown. Sort of. 6 action points to even crouch. That's because of the heavily damaged result, isn't it? Hopefully Titania is safe. Because I see a possible strategy where they use the zipline to kind of get up and run me down or even do a death from above. I just have no Overwatch to kind of deny this. So you probably could still wreck people, because you can get close enough, can't you? It looks like it. And you're just pretty much dead now, aren't you? You're stunned. That's going to be a bit of a problem. Because you cannot just... I don't think there's nothing in reach that you can just grapple away from, is there? Yeah, you cannot grapple away, but you can vault. Oh, I have to disengage first, which will burn a bunch of my movement too. And I can't go around without vaulting. And the problem there is I don't think I have... Okay, I do have enough action points. And now I can do an ascension. I thought... Oh, I don't have the trait to allow for it, but where can I grab... Let's see, I'm trying to figure out position of everyone. Saboteur heavy, so I can get up here and be relatively safe? Is that a stupid thing to think? Is that stupid to think that I can get up here and be safe? I'm not going to be able to get my shot though. But I can crouch and... that is not actually as safe as I want to believe. unfortunate truth there. But I can heal up at least. Oh, we're not getting a good angle though. I probably should not even gone here. I should have stayed. Let me learn from my mistake from last time and just get more in the center where it's a little bit harder to hit me. I thought this was a safe spot, but what's probably going to happen is once you back up enough with this gunner, you could just do another Gatling Fury on him. And that's where it's not really justified. So, you just reload it and unjammed your weapon, basically, is what happened there. It does cost a lot of action points. 20 action points, I think, so... I don't want to believe she can get away with that Gatling Fury again. So it's going to be just a straight single shot, I think. I'm hopeful. And I think, yeah, since that's as far as you can move, I can do an amazing assault on you next turn if I plan it out properly. And the Brawler can't do anything, at least against my gang leader. What's it gonna be? Are you gonna leave yourself wide open there to get murdered? It's a lot of damage, I won't lie, but Marco hopefully will survive and be able to bring the hurt next turn. The big question though becomes, who do I go after? Because so far it's 3 on 3. The Saboteur gets to go. I have to be mindful that Brawler is a nightmare, I believe, because there is a level up that you can get. Every time you get shot at, it increases the chance of you getting a grazing hit on you. And if I can't kill her quickly, then it rapidly becomes like, what, 100% chance of a grazing hit? Which I think is what they're gambling on with this Bruiser. So, what I need to do is kind of pin her and keep her from moving, ideally. So a lot of overwatches might be in order to kind of deny her ability to maneuver. Especially if I can get some shots there. Sadly, I don't have Gatling Fury for my heavy, which may be a mistake there. Because we saw the potential it could potentially do, firing 3 salvos of shots. But I want to believe this is an incredibly hard shot for the Saboteur. If they can even get a shot off. And I can keep healing with my gang leader too, so I should be okay. It's again dealing with the Bruiser, which with them separated I should instead go after the heavy, in all seriousness. And next turn they can just come up the zip line. And I don't have my Saboteur to kind of deny their direct route to get up here. I am curious about initiative though. 74, even my heavy has more initiative. I can shoot you. And not well. Okay, I take that back. I can shoot you pretty well. I'm just wondering, because there is possibility of heavy barrage here too. But I think the most important thing is to restrict the Brawler's mobility, if I'm serious. And I can also garrison, which might be important here. Because maybe I can get 2 kills in one here if I do this right. And you are a calculated shot. That reduces the chance of grazing. Gotta keep in mind again that you probably have a trait that makes you harder to do damage to. Huh, I don't see it. I believe it was called Vengeance, if I'm remembering it correctly. So I'm a little surprised that's not there. And I have higher initiative than the Brawler, so I think what I want to do is just unload because you don't have that bonus. I was worried this thing would be an MVP because of how much levels it has, but I might be okay. Now it's the gamble. I think I kill... Yeah, I killed that bruiser now, but I worry about Marco getting obliterated by this heavy. So that's the gamble. Which one is going to act first? I got 2 shots on you actually, so you should be heavily neutered in your movement because you're not crouched. Actually, is it possible I can have my cake and eat it too? 83. Because remember, heroic shot. It is 3 shots, but can I seriously not reach you? Wow. That is unfortunate. It makes my life easier if I can hit both of them. This is probably a ridiculous gamble, chancing 2 shots, because if this fails, I'm not going to get my kill. But I can Overwatch still, right? Which is probably all I need, maybe. It's just a shame. That was kind of what I was afraid of, that surge, the one shot I would have took on her would have failed or missed. But it might pay off here, Iron Will, so you heal yourself. That I'm kind of okay with. Burns a lot of your action points to get that heal. You're already pinned quite a bit. Okay, so you revived Saboteur, that's fine. Now, if you move at all, she might just die. Oh, never mind. She already healed, so she's relatively safe. Now, it's just a shame I didn't get the double kill, though, like I was hoping. So you're almost dead. You might evacuate now. Pain sensitive. That's what I was wondering. Oh no, that's a negative trait, actually. So are you going to try to evacuate? Because you're really close. You did burn a lot of heals. Wow, really? I was led to believe that was 10 action points. But then again, Iron Will could have been made really cheap because of course, the level ups. So I don't think I could kill you. I would like to kill you to protect my gang leader, if I'm honest. But I don't think that's gonna happen. Because the unfortunate thing is, you could probably kill Marco as well, can't you? Well, Marco's currently crouched. Maybe Marco's okay against her. And the high level, well, I don't know if it's really high level that's doing it, but the high initiative is definitely paying off here. And I can get an amazing shot here. It's looking like. Although you could probably shoot Marco already as is, so I don't think heavy barrage is going to be helpful. And I cannot entrench at all, so I can only take 1 shot. And that is it. While inside, interesting. Oh, that's tactical skill, so that's not really helpful. A stun might be worth it. I think they only regenerate 20-25 action points. And I can still take a shot as a bonus. So let's do that. Where is my flash bomb? It didn't work before with my gamble of trying to steal the Archaeotech, sadly, but hopefully it protects against being killed here right now. At least it prevents a big ability, I want to believe. I could be misunderstanding what stun does, though. I know it takes 20 action points to negate it if you get stunned. Ah, dang it. Still wasn't goddamn enough, so clearly I'm misunderstanding what the stun's supposed to do. It's a bit of a shame, because I was really hoping on both cases that would deny them being able to pull off what they wanted. This is still going to be a victory though, and I have a bunch of stims to revive people as well. And you should have like no health left. Well, it's not really a win, I suppose, because the Archaeotech alone denies me that possible victory. 99%. I don't want a chance to graze. There. So sadly, this all came down to just maybe the mission type, really. Whoever was fortunate enough to get the Archaeotech first would win. And I guess my strategy was more about playing the long con as opposed to rushing for the one objective. So I'm very likely just going to lose because of that. If I'm going to be perfectly honest. But hopefully, I could just easily recover from whatever injuries they might have and revive them. And I can still entrench and finish you off if needed. Alright. So I don't know how to feel about this, but I want to believe it was much more strategic, much more enjoyable than my feeble attempts with no skills. Oh, I didn't want to search you, I just want to... Oh, I don't... Do I really not have... Yeah, I have adrenaline shots, so why can't I... Oh, I don't have the action points, do I? That's probably why. So I wonder, is reviving you even worth it? Because I won't be able to use you for the looting phase, will I? If I have to guess. And they're level 7 there. Brawler, I sadly won't be able to loot because I was just robbed of killing them off. And this salvage cast or salvage crate's not going to be enough. It's only 20 points versus the potential 80 or 100 that the Archaeotech has to give. And it's only tier 1, but I can use it to grab money out of at least. If it truly is only tier 1. I honestly don't know. I'm a little bit thrown off by the fact that it says they're tier 1. And I guess this is as good as opportunity as any to just experiment with revival. To see how it functions here. Adrenaline shot, yes. 18 action points, so it was a little bit short. Sadly, just then, the game decided to crash on me, but we kind of were already at the end of it, so maybe that's kind of a blessing in disguise, because it means Jericho and Tisoni don't have to worry about injuries as a result of being knocked out in that battle. So, I don't know how to feel there, but interestingly enough, I'm really confused and shocked by the downgrade weaponry, because I almost feel like, actually, do I have a backup plasma gun to really compare? Maybe not a plasma gun, I thought I did, but let's see. Tier 4 is 40 damage. How much is this? 47. Okay, so maybe the higher tiers is significant. But I almost would have thought that maybe just a level up on these gear, on all these skills, would have been much more problematic. Because you saw how potentially ridiculous the barrage could have been there. I wasn't even expecting to kill Saboteur there with that. I was more realistically hoping to kill the... Kill the Brute Brawler, because that was a much more problematic target. Was it a problematic target after all? But realistically, after what we just saw, that probably could have killed both of them in most cases. And just being able to level it up to 3 to almost cut the cost in half, or at least the increase, since it would, yeah, it cuts it down by a quarter, I suppose, realistically, since even if I cut the increase entirely, it still would have been 30 action points, but still, you get my meaning. I'm hoping at least. And I'm going to strive to improve on this, because that was a very sloppy start. A lot of it was because I was not prepared for the fact that the one single objective item will dictate who wins or loses that battle. As opposed to what I was kind of expecting and preparing for, that there would at least be like 6 or 7 different objectives, so letting one get away with loot would not have been a big deal on its own. But thank you everyone for watching. I will see you next time.